Hello race fans and welcome to the DRSN network. We are live here for the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Tour Series season opener in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Let's go ahead and get you guys our starting lineup for the day. On the pole, Stephen Hassett. Got Austin Hobart to his outside. Give that 1 second to scroll. There we go. Brad Hubbard and Bo Gilligley behind him. Row number 3, Chase Bullard, Dylan Large. And then rounding out a very short field here today, Daniel Rubino in P7. We're ready for 120 laps here in South Carolina. Season opening action coming our way into the box. Green flag is in the air, and we are rolling here in Myrtle Beach. Stephen Hassett out to an early lead. They're side by side for second. Austin Hobart trying to get that outside lane to work. He's going to be able to clear down in front of car number 6, Bo Gilligley. Got 2 6s there. Brad Hubbard in the 64. That Terry Labonte throwback for sim wraps. Really having the 6 of Gilligley work to his outside. Everybody gets single file here early on. Now there will be live pit stops throughout the course of this race. No planned stage breaks or anything for you to go and get those tires. So you're going to want to make sure you do that absolutely perfect. It's a small track. A little bit of a mistake can really cost you a lot of track time, track position, distance on the racetrack as number 6 gets up into the wall. Dylan Large has gone around down the back straightaway. We're going to continue forward. Stephen Hassett. Right now out to about a 2-car length lead. 3 laps complete in this race. A 19:58 is the fastest lap we've seen so far. This guy's starting to wiggle around a little bit. It's only going to get worse and worse throughout the course of this race. These cars have a lot of power. They can really get sideways on corner exit if you don't modulate the throttle just perfectly. A bit of side-by-side action. Here comes Brad Hubbard trying to get back down to the inside of Gilligley. Quite able to just yet. He's trying to get just a hair lower through the middle part of these corners. A little bit loose there, got Gilligley. And there's Chase Bullard just behind. He's waiting in the wings trying to find an opportunity to get around both of these drivers. See what happened here with Dylan just a couple of laps ago. Yeah, just got sideways all on his own. Keeps it straight. Saves the car. No caution necessary. Back to green flag, or back to live conditions here, still under green flag. 9 laps complete this time around out of 120. Stephen Hassett, he's led them all, but Austin Hobart trying to keep him honest. He's able to get another car length or so in front of that 74 in second place. Those guys starting to get a little bit of separation now on car number 6, 64, and 54. Ten laps now complete here in Myrtle Beach. Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Tour Series making their season opener tonight. See that 8 car get a little bit sideways coming up off turn number 4. Gotta wonder if he's wearing down those tires a little bit soon. And now that gap sits right around 0.4 seconds. Everybody in the top 3 running virtually equal lap times. Chase Bullard actually a little bit quicker. See how it looks this time around. He's going to be a little bit slower. But the top three, they're virtually equal up front. Starting to close in now is Austin Hobart on the back of Steven Hassett. Oh, he tags the wall just a little bit coming up off of turn number 2. Doesn't seem to slow his momentum down as he's got a good center corner speed. Not quite able to get the power down and get right to the rear bumper of that 8 just in front of him. But he is working him over. Last time by, Bo Gilligley was also a little bit quicker than these top 2. So if these guys get to battling, they could definitely fall back into the clutches of this 6 machine, who has driven away a little bit now from Brad Hubbard. Chase Bullard still in 5th in car 54. Daniel Rubino coming up off of turn number 4 in 6th. And then Dylan Large trying to recover here in the 7th position. A little bit of wear on those tires. Not going to be where he wants them. '74 able to run just a hair lower on the racetrack than the 8. Doesn't seem to be giving him much of an advantage at this point, but it is something to kind of keep an eye on. If you can keep that car lower, that leads me to believe it's handling a little bit better than the car in front. Might just be a matter of time before he's able to get in there and make a move. You see that 6 starting to close in on the 74. Take a look at one of our tools here. You can see our head-to-head battle here. Saying these guys are basically matched on pace. It's not able to tell us if a pass is viable to happen right now. Take a look at the last lap time for everybody up on the top side of your screen. You can see it on the ticker. These guys are very, very close to each other in terms of lap times. Just a couple hundredths separating each other, lap in and lap out. This competition absolutely fierce right now. I know it's only 7 cars on the track, but they are virtually equal on speed. And you can throw a blanket under these guys or over these guys. It's anybody's show right now. It's anybody's game. You see that 74 getting a little bit sideways coming through turns 1 and 2. Is he potentially putting a little bit too much stress on that right rear tire? Chase Bullard, 54, had himself a problem. So he loops it around there. Then Dylan Large seems to have another problem as well. Yeah, that's for the 26. He goes around again. Oh, right in front of your race leaders, too. Sketchy moment there. Dylan Large goes 1 lap down. Battle started to heat up for second. Bo Gilligley looking down to the inside of car 74. He's trying to get the nose down there. He's got that curved on the front straightaway, kind of allowing him to set himself up to the inside. He's sideways down on the inside of the 74. The 74 sideways coming up off of turn number 2. These guys are dirt tracking it here at Myrtle Beach. It's an old abrasive surface. You get sideways, that can really tear up those tires. It's going to take a moment to kind of cool those down and get a little bit of recovery. Still sliding is Hobart in the 74. Top 4 still under a blanket here as we have completed 29 laps. Just around the 25% way through this race. So far so good. We've had a couple of different slides and kind of situations, but nothing to bring out a caution flag. Remember, we do still have a pit stop coming our way, as I don't think can make it to the end on fuel. Car 74, Austin Hobart starting to close back in on Stephen Hassett. Hassett led every lap from the pole so far. He's trying to go flag to flag. Start this season out with a dominating performance. This is pretty impressive because the top 4 right now within 0.8 of a second of each other here at this short track in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. I mean, after this many laps, that's impressive stuff. These guys are very equal in terms of their skill level, it would seem. And the question becomes, like, who's just biding their time? Who's trying to save their stuff for the end? And can anybody get a pass down on this car number 8? Seven laps complete now. Stephen Hassett has led them all over Hobart. Gilligley still sitting in 3rd. Brad Hubbard starting to close in on car number 6 just in front of him. Daniel Rubino has moved his way up into the 5th position after Chase Bullard had himself a little bit of a slide. Dylan Large is down 1 lap after a couple of slides. Everybody's still on the racetrack though. Got 82 laps to go. These laps clicking away just like that. A little bit of side-by-side action for 3rd as Brad Hubbard gonna get the job done. See a little bit of right front damage there on car number 6. Could have been what allowed that 64 to get through and make that pass. A little bit sideways there for the 74 of Hobart. And we're gonna see if Brad Hobart can have any different luck compared to these guys up in front of him. Austin Hobart still trying to close back in on the back bumper of that car number 8 in front of him. Down to the inside, running about a lane lower than car number 8. And that could be by design. You could see Stephen Hassett trying to move up the racetrack, widen his lane just a little bit, try to carry more momentum, some more speed through the corner. Plus, that way, if somebody gets down to your inside, you can really try to pinch them down. Just a little bit of a wall tap from your race leader. Here comes Brad Hubbard. All over the back bumper of car 74. It looks like he's going to try to make a move here for second place. Oh, 74 gets right to the rear bumper. He's able to get a little bit lower coming up off the corner, but couldn't quite get the throttle down the way he wanted. This is closing in. This is getting exciting here up front. Hobart trying to run just a little bit lower. Slides a little bit more coming up off of turn number 2. Really going to want to try to limit those slides as much as you possibly can. So the more these tires age, the less forgiving they are going to be for each and every one of those. As now you see that 74 got a good kind of late middle there. Cost him time on exit. He's trying to find something. A different spot on this racetrack where he can be quick compared to this 8. So right now, everything he's doing is being matched by the race leader, Stephen Hassett. Oh, we got one up into the wall. The 6 sideways. Bo Hubbard gonna save it. Sorry, Brad Hubbard. Bo Gilligley checks up to avoid that. Good save there by Brad in car 64. Stephen Hassett still out front. He's led every lap, but here comes a charge from Austin Hobart, the 74. He's going to look down to the inside. Can't quite get there. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in live here. Brendan the Gent. We appreciate you. Anybody who's tuning in for the first time, hit that subscribe button. Got some pretty cool racing that we like to bring you here at DRSN, and look forward to having you along for this journey. Stephen Hassett still holds on to the lead. They're able to get a little bit of distance on Brad Hubbard after that slide. And now it seems like Gilligley is trying to find a way back around that 64. Doesn't seem like the tires are really pleased after that big slide. He's starting to fall back from second place, Austin Hobart. Here comes Gilligley down to the inside into turn 1. Checks up. Heck, couldn't make the pass there on the inside. Had to check up, touch the apron a bit too. It's going to cost him... Gilligley, rather, just a little bit of time. Now both of these guys starting to fall off to the tune of about a second behind the top 2. We're starting to drive away. 52 laps complete, caution free throughout the course of this race. Small field for sure, but that does not mean small action. Gilligley going to try to make this pass happen once again down on the inside. He just slides up a little bit in the beginning part of that middle of the corner. You know, kind of the 1/3 part of the corner. He slides up the racetrack. That's where he's really got to get off of the throttle to avoid hitting the 64 to his outside, and that's detrimental to him throughout the course of this run. He's got to try to make that pass happen as quick as possible and start chasing down those leaders in front of him. And now these guys are starting to see about a 10th or 2 of fall off compared to the drivers in front. This time, By Hubbard was able to match those top 2 a little bit better. But for those last couple of laps, it was 2/10 every single time going to the top 2. You know, if these guys start getting side by side, start getting racy, that could really bring those other 2 back. But I almost got to wonder if that 74 of Hobart is content just chilling where he's at to prevent those guys from closing in. Or how soon does he want to try to take the lead? Hobart has not let the 8 get away at all. The biggest lead that 8 car has had was 0.4 of a second. I tell you what, these guys are starting to catch up to the 54 of Chase Bullard. Not sure if Chase is going to feel any sort of obligation. As that 74 gets sideways, not sure if Chase is going to feel any sort of obligation to get out of the way for the race leaders, or if he's going to try to fight for his position here on the lead lap. Stephen Hassett continues to be the fastest car on the racetrack, but only by a couple hundredths. Three-tenths back to second place, 1.4 to third, 1.7 back to fourth, then it's 15 back to fifth place, Daniel Rubino. Things settling down here for just a moment. Top two got about a car length separating them. Brad Hubbard able to separate himself from Bo Gilligley. I think Gilligley had himself a bit of a slide. Hobart is there. He's trying to get to the rear bumper. Car number 8, Stephen Hassett. He's getting within about a foot of that bumper. Starting to run a little bit higher as he tries to stay close to the 8 car through the middle of the corner. Could be stressing out that right front. He's able to run about half a lane lower here, coming up off of turn number 2. Gets a nice run. It's half a car length, getting into 3. It's less than that now. 74 gets a good run coming up off of the corner. He's going to kind of defend low, but that swings him up high on entry. Oh, here he comes. He looks down to the inside. Going into turns 1 and 2. What does the 8 have in defense up on the top side of the racetrack? It's the first time anybody's been able to get side by side for the race lead all day. Right now, it looks like car number 8 is going to be able to defend fairly well up on the outside. But don't let that 74 get back to the inside. He's going to get there. Catching up to the 26 machine to put him a lap down. Bo Gilligley has made a pit stop. 26 going to get out of the way there. He's already a lap down. Car number 6 has come into the pits. He just ran the fastest lap of the race in 19:49. So if we see everybody else come into the pits, where are they going to shake out? Going to be 70 laps complete this time around. 50 to go here in Myrtle Beach. Appreciate everybody who's tuning in here live on DRSN on YouTube. Short track racing is always a blast. These guys putting on an incredible show. Guys able to put Daniel Rubino a lap down. Bo Gilligley already went down a lap when he made his pit stop. Looks like the 54 is going to move on up and get out of the way. No, that 74 is going to be pleased with that. Last time around the lapped cars, he didn't really get the exit that he wanted. Got kind of checked up. Couldn't use all the racetrack. So up front with less than 50 laps to go. These two have not separated for more than a couple of car lengths. Top three still on the lead lap. Steven Hassett leading by about a quarter of a second. And that's 1.7 back to third place, Brad Hubbard. Hubbard a little bit quicker these last couple times around. Daniel Rubino has also come in to the pits, gotten some service done, some damage repaired. He falls back into 7th and final position. Dylan Large able to make up that spot. Now you start to see that 74 try something a little bit different. He goes wide on his arc on entry. Tried to get a later apex, clipped the apron, and that actually hurt his exit. So he's going to lose a little bit more time to that 8. Got to try to find a way to get that back. Brad Hubbard not closing in on these guys at the moment as we approach 40 laps to go. Things happen fast here in Myrtle Beach. These guys run in 19, 20-second laps. Action definitely flying by. Now, Austin is not letting him get away easy. He's keeping him honest. It's been tough to try to set up that pass, especially down on the inside. 8 able to work that second lane just a little bit better. Let's see if car 74 can try to make something else happen. Getting down into turn number 1. 1 car length separating these two. Final 39 laps. Chase Bullard in the 54. He's going to come in for some service. Looks like he's got a black flag as well. He might have been too fast entering the pits. That's going to be very detrimental for car 54. Here comes the 74. He's got a run coming up off of turn 4. He's going to look down to the inside. 8 drives it in deep, goes up the racetrack. He's kind of getting up into the marbles a little bit. Able to get clear and hold on to the race lead. But he's going to clip the apron, slide up the racetrack again. Here comes the 74, down on the inside once again. He's got better positioning getting into turn 1. He's going to drive it in deep. He noses out in front, slides sideways. Still sideways coming up off of turn number 2. Dead even through turns 3 and 4. Who can get the power down? They drag race down the front straightaway. Steven Hassett leads that lap, but Hobart fighting hard on the inside. He's going to get the nose in front in the center of the corner, but the 8 strong enough to be able to pull back out down the back straightaway, down these straightaways. He's trying to pinch him down. Coming up off of turn number 4. Slides up the racetrack a little bit. Gets up into the wall. Austin Hobart led that lap, and he's going to be able to get clear into the race lead. New race leader here with 34 laps to go. And look at him just put the power down. Here comes car number 8 into the pits. Austin Hobart able to take over the race lead. He's the only driver yet to make a pit stop, and you got to believe that's going to be coming soon. Bo Gilligley was able to get around Brad Hubbard. So we'll see if that 6 car in his early pit stop potentially could sneak out with the race lead. Well, he's going to get in front of car number 8. Stephen Hassett. Hobart in the pits, getting right sides right now. He's going to come around and get the left sides taken care of. No, right sides only. And here's the 6 machine coming up off of turn number 2. He's going to have a lot of speed. He's going to move down to the inside, trying to take over the race lead. He sends it in there, right there on the bottom. Slides up the racetrack, almost some contact there with car 74. Bo Gilligley trying to take over the race lead. He's going to send it in turn number 1. Slide up the racetrack just a little bit. Put that 6 into the race lead with a blazing fast strategy coming in just after halfway. But here comes Stephen Hassett with the fastest lap of the race in 1946. Top 3 all under a blanket. Here comes Hassett looking down to the inside of the 74. The 74 looks down to the inside of the 6 for the race lead. Final 30 laps here at Myrtle Beach are setting up to be something special as here comes the 74 back down to the inside. Now the 8 moves to his outside. Stephen Hassett trying to... Oh, he's going to get sideways. Big time slide for Stephen Hassett coming up off of turn number 4. Side by side for the race lead. 6 is going to get up into the marbles a bit. He touches the wall. That's going to cost him on corner exit. Can he keep that 74 pinch down, though? Not quite. Hobart back to the race lead. Stephen Hassett going to try to follow through for second place. Gets down to the bottom. Slides up the racetrack just a little bit. No contact, but they almost hit getting into turns 1 and 2. Stephen Hassett back into second place. And now, for the first time all race, he's on fresh tires, but he is the chaser. Can that 8 machine make it back around the 74 in these final 27 laps? Or can Austin Hobart start to drive away in a way that that 8 could not do throughout the first 75 laps of this race? Austin Hobart, 25 laps to go to take home the season opener. Stephen Hassett, he led the first 86 laps. He feels he's earned this one. He's going to have to try to take that one spot away from car 74. Austin's not really able to drive away very much. I kind of expected him to be able to. Oh, Ryan Thompson, good to see you. This is the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Series. These guys run every Thursday night at 10 Eastern. I believe it's a 12-week season. Sure, they'd love to have you. To go on the iRacing League page and search for Victory Lane Outlaw Cars Series. Should be able to apply through there. And you can also probably find their Discord through there as well. We'll get you some better recruiting information for next week if you guys want to get up into this racing. So I tell you what, this has been absolutely intense stuff. We've only had 7 cars on the racetrack, but these guys have not been able to get away from each other. The action has been intense from the drop of the green flag. And these two have not let one another out of their sight. Hobart gets the wall just a little bit coming up off of turn 4. Hassett's going to be able to close in. That time by advantage for Hobart. 18 laps to go. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty of this thing. 0.3 of a second separate your top 2. Gilligley about 2 seconds off the race lead, and then another 2 seconds back to Brad Hubbard. Austin Hobart seems to have done everything right. Can he hold on for these final 17 laps? Take a look at the eyeball test. You get to about 2 car lengths now. That ain't really pushing coming up off of turn 4. He scrapes the wall, and that's going to cost him a couple more car lengths. 15 laps to go and about half a second separating your top 2. You can tell they've both gotten up into the wall a couple times. That right front wheel is sticking out from behind the fender. Austin Hobart putting down some pretty fast lap times that time by, another 10th quicker than Hassett. Steven's really going to have to turn the dial up to 11 if he wants to bring this one home. Look at all of the marbles out on the top side of the racetrack too. You can tell just how much wear these tires are taking. Only 7 cars. That's a lot of marbles. If you get up in there, really going to upset the race car. Steven Hassett falling off a little bit more. It's 0.7 of a second. Laps to go, coming to 11 laps to go. See if Steven Hassett can make one final push. Time by, he was equal with your race leader, but you got to do a little bit better than equal. Got to be about a 10th a lap quicker now at this point. You're sitting 0.8 back with 10 laps to go. Or you got to hope for a mistake there out of Austin Hobart, but he has been virtually flawless all race. You could be hard-pressed to find that man to make a mistake. Nine laps to go. The lead up to about a second for Austin Hobart. Started in second place and stayed there for the first 86 laps before he was able to take over the race lead. Came in for a pit stop right after that. Was able to keep that 8 car behind him and also get around the 6 of Gilligley, who, by the way, is now just about 3/4 second in front of Brad Hubbard. Can Hubbard get up there and steal this final podium spot in the final 7 laps? These guys up front, they are still, within 3 to 4 100ths of a second per lap of each other. Coming to 5 laps to go here in the season opener for the Victory Lane Outlaws Cars Series. Hobart gets up into the wall there a bit down the backstretch. It's going to cost him some time, but not a lot in the grand scheme of things. 4 more times around. Steven Hassett just over a second behind. Battle for 3rd place heating up. Brad Hubbard knows he can get there, and he definitely wants it. He's got 14 lap fresher tires, rather 21 lap fresher tires than the 6 in front of him. 3 laps to go for your race leader. We'll get you back up to that in just a few moments, but we'll see if Brad Hubbard can take away the final spot on the podium. 2 laps to go for the leaders. Here comes Brad down to the bottom. Gilligley gives him plenty of space. He's going to be able to get into 3rd place. But the story is Austin Hobart. He's got one more time around to take home victory number 1 on the season. Like I said, he stayed in 2nd place until lap 86. He stayed patient. Took the lead, made his pit stop, and never looked back. Austin Hobart comes up off of turn number 4 to win race number 1 in Myrtle Beach. Stephen Hassett going to come home in 2nd, and Brad Hubbard lines up 3rd. Bo Gilligley, Daniel Rubino, Chase Bullard, and Dylan Large rounding out the field here today. '74 going to burn it down. See where that 74 ends up moving to for his photo. I'll go ahead and show you the results from the race here. Austin Hobart wins the race by 9/10 of a second over Stephen Hassett. Brad Hubbard able to come away with 3rd. 4th was Gilligley, and then Daniel Rubino, Chase Bullard, Dylan Large, rounding out the field of 7 here today. Daniel Rubino up 2 spots, was our biggest mover in the small field. Stephen Hassett led 86 laps, had the fastest lap of the race and the fastest lap in qualifying. 3 different leaders, 120 laps for 61.5 total miles. Let's go ahead and bring in our race winner, Austin Hobart. It's Liam up in the booth. You got a copy. Give me 1 second. I actually got to switch your audio over for the interview. There we go. All right, Austin. Phenomenal drive here today, and it seemed like patience was the name of the game. You were all on the rear bumper of the 8 Hassett for 86 laps before you finally were able to make that move. What was it that kind of set you up, and I don't know, what made that the right time?
Just patience, staying with them, understand the lines. I was taking a really shallow line, trying to see if I could slam the gas down on exit and get any momentum. And eventually something clicked, and I got to his inside a couple of times before that, actually, and was kind of spotting out the move, and then happened to pass him a lap before he pitted and came out ahead of him out of the pits, so got it done.
How difficult is it to run lap after lap after lap that close to somebody's rear bumper?
I don't know. It's kind of like driving an F1 car where you got to brake before the car in front of you and then try not to dump him if you're really getting hard into battling him. But honestly, I think the hardest part was my arm was kind of getting numb, right arm. I don't know, I pinched it at work or something, and now I don't know. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Well, before we get you out of here, is there anybody you want to thank for such a strong run getting her done here in Myrtle Beach?
Yeah, I got to shout out Tier 1 for getting me on the development program. Shout out Austin Norris. He fell asleep tonight, but he invited me out here, so thanks to him. Thanks to you for putting on the broadcast, and thanks to the league for setting this thing up.
Awesome stuff, man. Congratulations on the race win, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again within the coming weeks.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, my bad. I accidentally brought him back in right after he left. All right, now we've got second place, Steven Hassett. Steven, it's Liam up in the booth. You got a copy.
Yes, sir.
A hard-fought race for you today. You led the first 86 laps, but right before pit stops was when it kind of unraveled for you. Do you think there was anything you could have done to keep that 74 behind you?
I think at the time, no. I debated whether or not I was actually going to take 2 tires to try to just put myself out well in front of the 74 and the 6 or the 64 and see what happens. And it just didn't quite work out. I don't know. Austin's crew did a heck of a job getting them out in front of both of us, both me and Bo on that stop. So those two kind of started fighting. I think I just burnt off too much tire while they were fighting, trying to find a way around them.
Well, you threw together a phenomenal race. I think the worst you ran all day was third. Who do you want to thank for such a strong run, and what have you got moving forward for this season?
VLO, Victory Lane Outlaws, for putting us on. This is our second season running. Unfortunately, we had a low car count again. We're hoping to get back up to these 20 cars races that we had in the beginning of last season. You guys for putting this on, for broadcasting it. Tier 1 setup shop. We're starting to put together, between late model stocks and starting to dabble into the super late models, getting a team rolling. You're definitely going to see us more prevalent in a lot of the races. Vice Esports, we got a dirt side of it that's killing it right now. Along with our short track program, our road program. So just everybody that kind of comes together as one to bring this thing together.
Awesome stuff, man. I mean, if this is how intense it is with 7 guys on the track, I cannot wait to see what it looks like with 20. This stuff is absolutely insane, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys got moving forward.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I feel like we've got a little bit stronger of a field, at least in the top, than what we kind of saw last season. There was a few guys that weren't able to make it tonight that are usually running right there with us. I think it's gonna be a fun season. I know last season kind of at the end slowed down. The championship kind of was in the bag at that point, but I think with the competition we've got, it's gonna turn out to be a fun season.
Yes, sir. Well, appreciate you joining us, and talk to you again next week, I'm sure.
You betcha.
All right, now we got Brad Hubbard up in the booth. It's Liam. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, you're able to steal third place there last second. What was it like out there slipping and sliding around on this old abrasive surface?
That was a lot of fun out there tonight. There was some good racing between the 4 of us up front. During the first run, I kind of burnt my rears up a little too soon, and I lost a little bit too much time during the pit stop to be able to keep tabs on them front 2, to give them a run there at the end.
Well, you're able to keep tabs on that number 6. With his strategy coming in way early, you were able to keep those fresher tires and the pressure on. Did you think there was anything more you could have done to get up to those next 2, or?
After I losing that much time on the pit stop, I didn't think they were going to lose enough time. I know they had smacked the wall a few times, but I don't think that really slowed them down. They were the 2 fastest guys all night.
Well, you're able to come home with a third. It's a strong start to the season. Who helps you get it done? Who do you want to thank? And what are you looking forward to for this season?
I'd like to thank Tier 1. We actually did get a 1-2-3 finish tonight, so that's a good, strong run for the team, and I hope we can keep doing this.
Well, awesome stuff, man. Congratulations on the podium. We'll be talking to you again soon, I'm sure.
All right, thank you.
All right, well, that's going to about do it for us here on DRSN. Can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here live. Make sure you tune in next week, same time, same place, 10 Eastern on the DRSN YouTube channel. Gonna have some phenomenal racing coming your way throughout the next 12 weeks. Well, thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. And as always, I like to leave it by saying, do it for Dale, be like Biff, and always keep it rowdy. And as you guys walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Have a good night, folks.